All right, so in this video, what we're going to look at is we're going to create this type of thing, like if you want to create a tree that had that, and we're going to create this if you wanted kind of these rounded towers that are there. I'm going to show you that in a couple different methods. The first thing is I already have this kind of cube already made. In fact, we're going to use this again, so I'm just going to duplicate this out. So the first thing is we're going to use the lasso tool, and I'm going to select all my top shapes of my cube, and I'm going to go to Object, Path, Average. And I'm going to say average both the horizontal and vertical axis, and here I get a really simple pyramid. Right? Really cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all those points here, and I'm going to make it a little bit higher. So now what I should have is I have this side and I have this side. Now if I wanted to divide that out, if I've done this correctly, you can see it is exactly 2, and so I could cut right along that edge there where it says intersect. Let's zoom in to make sure we're getting there. Right, there it is. Click here, and then click the top. And then what I should have is now another piece. So I can make that one, let's say, even lighter. So now we have that. And do the same thing over here. We're going to do cut. We're going to get to where it says here, and then grab this here. And again, I now should have a separate piece. Let's make it a little bit lighter. So there is my kind of dimension. Now, if you wanted to then make write a tree with it, we are just going to take. Do I have one out? I do have one out. So if we look at what this is, right? Let's just. So I created one out here. It's just a cube, right? It's actually a cube with no end, no top part because I don't need it because it's hidden right there. Now, how did I create that idea? Well, I just made a bigger cube and shrunk it down, right? So it's just taking that cube, shrinking it down, and you can kind of put it underneath. Another way to get that same thing is you could create, if you didn't want to do average, I could create just a simple square, drag this up, and then I would have to then cut here and cut here, oops, and then cut the dividing part here and here, right? So that would be the other way. So let's just look at that. Maybe it's a little bit more work, right? So I have to make this a shape, right? Let's just join those together, and now go ahead and cut these. And now you should have 2 separate parts, right? Same idea, just a little bit different. All right, so let's delete those, and let's talk about how to make this rounded. Actually, let's bring back our, there we go. So I'm going to go to Object, actually Effect, Stylize, and then Rounded Corners. And we're going to do OK. So now that I have this rounded corner that's here, we're going to expand it, expand appearance. And so the idea would be then to, I'm just going to grab a regular marquee tool and find where it says intersect. And it should look pretty seamless like that, pretty good. In the middle, I could do that with a line too. I'm just going to take these, Pathfinder, divide, ungroup. So what I should have is 2 halves. And so I'm going to delete this half, and then I'm going to use the pen tool. I'm going to go here, make a point, right, and there, and take these shapes, make sure they're together. So now I have my rounded cone shape, and again, to divide it, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a line that goes down the center, divide, ungroup, and I should have 2 halves. There we go. So now I have this rounded pyramid thing that I can deal with, okay? So that's making pyramids and dome shapes and splitting them up, and the best way to do that with an isometric grid.